In 2017, the world's 8 richest men got richer than half of the world's population. Imagine if 8 people had more money than nearly 4 billion other people in the world. That's a different kind of unfairness. This year, the difference got even worse. Forbes' 35th annual list of the world's wealthiest people now has 2,755 billionaires, which is 660 more than last year. Together, they are worth 13.1 trillion, which is more than the 8 trillion they are worth in 2020. The wealth of 2,755 people is equal to the GDP of China, which has the most people and is the second largest economy in the world. Most of the money is now held by a small number of people. That's not a coincidence. This is merely because most people don't know much about money since it hasn't been talked about much at school or by our parents. We are just expected to know how to handle money. I know it sounds silly, but truth be told, this is why most of us have such bad financial situations. In this video, we'll take you to these 5 money lessons most people learn too late. And no, I am not talking about simple ideas like inflation or interest that grows over time. We'll dig much deeper to find the lessons that, if you learn them early on in life, will probably put you on the right side of the world where money is. But before we start, here's a little favor. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and that little notification bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our video updates. Plus, it helps us spread the Thrive Wise love to help more people thrive wisely. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Break the stereotype. Here's a story about Jack, a friend of mine who became a very successful financial analyst. When Jack started investing for the first time, he began trading. Jack would use everything he knew to analyze a certain company. He remembered putting $300 into that company, which was all the money he had saved up in the last few months. Think about how worried he was. As soon as he bought the stock, the price started going down. And that, of course, made him even more scared. Jack was looking at the screen and counting every dollar he was losing, but he decided to hold at least for another day. The price dropped by 20% the next day, so he left and lost money. Jack lost a few coins, but $50 was a lot of money to him back then. But Jack didn't give up and decided to try again. Unfortunately, he lost again, which was too bad. That's when he decided he didn't want to invest anymore, and this is what happens to a lot of people. You see, a lot of people try something once and then look at other people who are much better at it and think, maybe this isn't for me. I might want to try something different. But the truth is that if you practice something enough, you can get good at it. In fact, this is how the 10,000 hour rule came to be. If you work on something for 10,000 hours, you will be good at it. I know this is from Jack's experience because after many years of investing and learning, he started to understand the market and make much better investment decisions. A lot of people don't understand this. They move quickly from one thing to the next because they think that one isn't for them. They think they aren't good enough and don't do well financially, when all they need to do is stick to one thing long enough to make money. Number 2. Money can be made out of thin air. When you grow up in a poor family, you live in a world where things are limited and there aren't enough of them. There is only a certain amount of everything, and that includes money. If I want to be rich, someone else needs to be poor. We are poor because other people have more than they should, and that way of thinking forces you to fight for what already exists instead of making something new. Most of the world's richest people got to be that way because they didn't compete in the same traditional industries, but instead created new ones. Elon Musk is probably the best example of someone who literally started a whole new industry that has something to do with aerospace or electric cars. In fact, all of the companies he started, such as PayPal, the boring company, SpaceX, Tesla, and Neuralink, are about making something new or solving a problem that hasn't been solved yet. Because of this, he has a net worth of $150 billion. It's not about him alone. From Uber to Airbnb, every business that does well does something new. Even smaller companies like Robinhood or Angry Birds. In different ways, they made the world a better place. No one lost anything because of them. They just did something good for the world and were rewarded for it. So stop thinking that you are poor because someone else is rich, and instead, focus and start thinking about how you can help the world. Number 3. The problem with choices. I don't like to eat at restaurants because every time I went to a restaurant, I look at the menu and get annoyed at how many options there were. I would spend more time trying to decide what to eat than actually eating. This is called the paradox of choice. Having a lot of options might seem like a good thing, but it can also be bad. In fact, it's one of the main reasons why so many people can't do well at what they do and make some money from it. Think about investing as an example. There are a lot of opportunities on the market, such as tech stocks, biotech companies, cryptocurrencies, and other financial instruments. However, because there are so many of them, you can't just focus on one. As soon as you learn more about one, another one pops up in the news, and before you can figure out what's going on, cryptos are everywhere. So you just keep up with the news and don't do anything about it. People say that Warren Buffett is an old man who isn't keeping up with the world because he didn't invest in tech companies early on and stayed away from Bitcoin. But that's not true. He knows there are a lot of choices, but he also knows the paradox of having choices. The sheer number of options won't get him anywhere, so he just focuses on one area where he does well. Because of this, his net worth is more than $1 billion, while the people who criticize him don't even have 1% of his net worth. Get rid of as many of your options as you can, especially in your personal life. People I know would wake up, think for 20 minutes what to eat for breakfast, and then think for another 20 minutes what to watch on YouTube while eating breakfast. I don't want to waste so much time and willpower on things that don't matter. So I have the same breakfast every morning, and I have 3 sets of clothes to choose from. And I spend time doing things that matter and make me happy. And we're halfway done through the video. What do you think about the things that have been said so far? What struck you the most? We'd love to hear about that in the comment section below as we all try to help each other out. We'd love to hear what you think about all of this. Also, please do hit that small like button if so far you see this video as interesting. And going back, number 4, do what scares you the most. Some of the most successful business people in the world have very big goals. They know exactly where they are going and why. They know what effect they are having and what they are leaving behind. The more you care about your impact, the more willing you would be to do hard things that will help you grow quickly. You see, business owners who make a lot of money live in the now. They don't put things off for later. Instead, they do what needs to be done now, no matter how scary or how hard it seems. Being a now person and knowing why you're doing what you're doing will push you to get what you want. Putting out content that the world could judge is something that most people are afraid of. But that's what sets rich people apart. They know we are all smart and have lots of good ideas. Some of us admit we're scared and do it anyway, while others think we shouldn't do it if we're scared. The most important thing I've ever learned is that you should do what you're afraid of. Once you've done it a few times, you'll either get over your fear or learn how to deal with it. Once you learn how to overcome your fears, you'll be able to start business, start investing, start growing, and never be in a desperate financial situation again. Number 5, working hard will never make you rich. Don't try too hard to make money. If you're like most people, you were taught as a child that you have to work hard to make money. But working hard won't make you rich by itself. What tells us that? Look at the world as it is. There are millions, no, billions of work slaves who work hard all day and night. Are all of them rich? No. Do most of them have money? No. Are any of them wealthy? No. Most of them are either broke or almost broke. On the other hand, who do you see relaxing in the world's country clubs? Who plays golf, tennis, or goes sailing in the afternoon? Who shops all day and goes on vacation all week? Rich folks. People who don't work hard but make their money work hard for them. That's how you get enough money to live on your own. Yes, you do have to work hard to make money. Some people will only be in this situation for a short while, but most people can't get rid of it. So you should always have in mind that you want to make and save enough money that it will continue to make you money while you sip the finest champagne and watch your kids play ball. Well, that's basically the 5 money lessons most people learn too late. And thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this, then you will probably learn a lot more from watching this other video. Do these 5 things now if you have $1,000 in the bank. If you click on the screen right now, you can go and watch that. Do you want to learn more on how to thrive wisely? What videos would you want to watch next? Feel free to comment down below. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button to see more videos on how to thrive wisely. Till next time.